I started a faceless YouTube channel 45 days ago and already have over 17,000 subscribers and 300,000 views. My channel got monetized extremely fast and I've already made thousands of dollars in passive income. Today, I'll be sharing everything I've learned so far about starting a new YouTube channel in today's algorithm. The goal here is to help those of you who are ready to start building your own channel. Because when you first start on YouTube, it kind of feels like you're throwing crap at a wall to see what sticks. But hopefully, with what you learn today, you'll be on a fast track to success and have similar results. Before we jump into what works and what doesn't, you should just take a look at my analytics so you can see my journey so far and some of the speed bumps that I've hit along the way. I posted my first video on May 3rd, 2023, and that video was actually pretty slow for the first 3 days. But then it started getting some traction on day 4. It got around 1,000 views, and I thought I had already beat the YouTube algorithm, but boy was I wrong. The next day, our view count totally flatlined around 1,000 views and 120 subscribers. So I went back to the drawing board. 10 days later, I posted my second video, which was a total flop upon releasing and really didn't see much traction. And this is where things start to get weird. I posted my third and fourth videos and they both did pretty well. They each got around 5,000 views in the first week and then sort of fizzled out. But those are not the videos that you currently see on my account. I was getting antsy and actually decided that since these videos were doing better, maybe I should delete them off this account and post them on separate new accounts as the first video and hope for that initial surge of views. Well, that was another huge mistake because when I posted them on new accounts, they each got around 4 views. So I came back to Digital Income Project and decided to post about something that I have a lot of real life experience with, building Instagram accounts and how to monetize them. This was kind of my last ditch effort, to be honest. I decided to put everything I had into this one video, and if it flopped again, I would just chalk it up and refocus my team on our other internet businesses. The new video didn't get a ton of action for the first 24 hours or so, but then I woke up on the second morning and noticed around 300 new subscribers. And the next day we grew by another 1,000, and then 2 days later we grew by 4,000 subs. In less than a week, I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 15,000. So the big question is, what made this video have so much success? You want to be paying attention to 2 very important things: your average view duration and your click-through rate. Average YouTube numbers for click-through rate fall somewhere between 2 and 10%. And average view durations fall somewhere between 25 and 50% of the video. So if your video is 4 minutes long, then the viewer sticks around for just 1 or 2 minutes. But for my viral video I showed you, those stats look a lot different. My click-through rate for the first 72 hours was well above that 10% number, and my average view duration was closer to 60%. Even Mr. Beast, the most successful YouTuber on the planet, says he aims for his average view duration to be around 70%. Days 3 to 5 was where things really took off and started to go viral. But this video's virality has lasted for weeks, while others stopped being pushed by the YouTube algorithm after only a day or 2. To understand why, we need to look at 3 other very important metrics: the views to like ratio, the views to comment ratio, and the views to subscriber ratio. The average ratios I found online for views to likes were 1 in every 25 views, around 4%. For my video, this number was more like 1 in 10 for the first week, or 10%. The typical comment to view ratio was around 1 comment for every 200 views, or 0.5%. But my video was getting around 2%. And finally, it's typical to get 1 subscriber for every 200 views, or also 0.5%. But this is where our stats went crazy. We were getting around 1 subscriber for every 25 views, or 4%. So what does this mean to you? Obviously, your goal here is to be as far above these average numbers as possible while YouTube pushes out your video. But that's easier said than done. What was it about that video that was so good and interesting to beat all those averages? The answer is surprisingly quite simple: quality. What I mean by that is the quality of the information you're providing, the quality of your production, and the quality of your delivery. If you can nail all 3 of these, then you will destroy all the stats I mentioned above and have a viral video. And just as a note, I'm going to be doing a very similar video to this for my Instagram success, so make sure you're subscribed to see that soon. When we think about creating a video, we want to make sure that we're creating it from the perspective of the viewer. What do they want? What do they like? And what gets them to actually click in on your video? And with that in mind, the thumbnail and title should always come first. The thumbnail and the title are your only chance to get someone to click on your video. And if they suck, then your video will never get seen no matter how good it is. If you want to achieve a higher click-through rate than the average 2 to 10%, then you're gonna have to master this. You want your title to tell your audience about what the video will be about with the highest level of intrigue possible. Let's look at the thumbnail that went viral. What do you notice about it? It's extremely simple, right? Most people get excited and try to tell their whole story in their thumbnail. But trust me, less is more. Simplicity and intrigue, that's the goal. It's a good idea to make 2 options and then ask family and friends which they prefer. But you can also come to a website called Thumbs Up TV and upload your thumbnail and title to see exactly how they will appear on YouTube. You can even toggle back and forth between light and dark mode, as you'll want something that will contrast well. One thing to keep in mind about titles and thumbnails is that you're going to need to actually deliver on the promise you're making to the viewer who decides to click on your video. Otherwise, you'll lose your audience and they probably won't come back. And this takes us to our next step, which is writing the script. The script is the soul of your video. And honestly, for the viral video I made, I used some pretty basic writing skills that we all learned in high school. It starts with an outline. We have our intro and each section with the points and resources we want to share. The hardest part of scripting, no doubt, is creating that first 30 to 90 seconds, which is called the hook. This is one of the most important parts because it's where your audience will decide if they want to stay and watch or not, so it better be good. Most channels lose people here, and there's no perfect formula. But studying what my most viral video did, it's clear that the hook does the following. It gets to the point, it tells the audience what they will see in the video, and it does these 2 things while creating a high level of intrigue. The rest of your script needs to deliver on those promises, and you can definitely use tools like ChatGPT here that might be able to help write more informatively than you would be on your own. Next, we need to focus on the editing, and here you have a few options. You can either use an AI tool to populate a video for you, you can spend hours editing it yourself, or you can pay an expert to do it for you. There are pros and cons to each, but if you're like me and you're not a great editor and want to save time while having the highest quality, and again, quality being the most important key here, then you probably need to hire an expert to do it for you while also giving them creative direction for what you're looking for. Think of yourself like a director. You need to tell them exactly what you're looking for to turn your vision into a reality. Think about what kind of motion graphics you want, transitions, sound effects, background music, and then articulate it to them the best that you can. Once your video is done, you should show it to at least 5 people before you post it on YouTube. Ask them to be brutally honest with you about where they get bored, lose interest, or just think you weren't interesting enough. So finally, what are some of the key takeaways I've found thus far? The first thing is to not give up too early like I almost did. Imagine if I had walked away before making that video that went viral. Look, I get it. I was frustrated and I felt like nothing was ever going to stick on that wall. But had I not persisted and made that video, none of this would have happened. Internet entrepreneurship is a long-term game, and most people quit here, right before they're about to break through and find success. But once you find that initial spark with these algorithms, it all starts to grow exponentially and your success snowballs. Lesson 2 is to study what is working. Find a channel that you can learn from so you don't have to figure it all out for yourself. We have infinite access to information at our fingertips, so if YouTube is your goal, then you should learn from the people who are where you want to be so you can get there faster. My videos here are great resources, but I also have a 70-minute course where I go deeper into all these strategies for those of you who want to take it to the next level. Lesson 3 is to find your own thing. If you just try to copy or emulate what's already out there, then you probably won't get much traction. You have to put your own twist on the content, whether that be editing, style, personality, or information. Lesson 4 is to really focus on quality because there are millions of creators on YouTube these days. So again, quality of information, quality of delivery, and quality of production. If you can nail all 3 of these, then you're gonna hit the jackpot on YouTube. The last lesson is to become obsessed. A lot of entrepreneurs preach balance, but that's total BS in my opinion. Any entrepreneur who is trying to find balance has either already made it and is looking to reprioritize now that they have some spare cash and room to breathe, or they just aren't going to be successful. I believe we go through chapters in life, and if this chapter is about YouTube and you want to make it big, then you're going to need to focus a majority of your energy towards your goal at that time. When I start an online project, I stay up till 4 a.m. and work 8 to 10 hours a day during that initial sprint because I love this stuff and I know what it takes to get things off the ground. During the last few months, sometimes I literally have dreams about YouTube. Now, please don't take this out of context. Your health is still number one, and it's important to take breaks, exercise, eat, and feel good. One of my favorite mottos is that rest is also productive. Anyways, thanks for listening to my rant. I genuinely hope that each of you who are looking to start your own channel can take tons of value from this video and turn it into gold. This is a fun game when you play it right. I also have some really creative new methods for making money online coming out very soon, so please subscribe for more. Thanks again, and talk soon.